Awesome. So I'm gonna go get started. Since I gave you this time, it's been a really interesting week for me. I began working on this project, which I'm gonna tell you about, um, and it's only been about a week or even less than 7 days, I think, that I've been working on this and got it running. So before I dive right into it, I want to just give a brief introduction. Well, first of all, about myself, since a lot of you may not actually know me. My name is Wesley Falcao. I am a national master at chess in the United States Chess Federation, and I'm also a software developer. So in this particular video, you will see both of those fields coming together as I have developed this software that allows me to speak chess moves and make them on the board. So how did this come about? So as a chess player, I use the mouse very often, and I use it so often at times that my hand starts to hurt. And so one trick that I followed was to switch hands. I began to get accustomed to using my left hand and playing that way. But it just dawned on me, it would be nice if we have a speech interface so that I can just sit back, relax, and when I don't want to use the mouse, I can just sit back, relax, and just speak my moves, and it'll make them for me on the chessboard. So since I'm a software developer, I thought to myself, how hard could it be? And I Googled speech to text for chess, and I saw a few results, but I was not very impressed with the stuff that I saw. And maybe I'm missing something. I haven't seen something that's really nice, but yeah, most of the stuff that I saw was okay. It was like a point and click kind of thing, and probably a desktop application. Whereas I wanted this to not be a desktop application, because if it's a desktop application, then, well, first of all, it's less easy to distribute the application. Whereas if it's a browser extension like the one that I have developed, then you can simply install it in your browser and you're ready to go. So that's my extension that I'm going to show you. It's called Speak My Move. And as you can see, Speak My Move is a test plugin developed to make moves on chess.com by speaking. So now I'm going to enable that plugin here. And as you can see, it has created an icon here called Speak My Move. So that is my extension, browser extension that I've written for chess.com. And I've been testing all day, and I've also been under time constraint because I know that chess.com is in the process of updating their chessboard. And if they do that anytime soon, then everything that I've written might all go to waste because it may not work with the new board. So that's why I was in a rush to get this out. So I'm happy that I have a working product that works, I would say, 95% of the time. Maybe there's a few glitches here and there, but it's good enough to do a demo with. And I think my idea here is to show this demonstration and pretty much say to chess.com, like, look, if I can hack up this thing in a week, maybe you guys can take a month or two, but develop something nicer, cooler, with the technology and the teams that you have, and make it a lot more easier for people to use a speech interface to make moves on chess.com. So I have developed something for Puzzle Rush and Live Chess. So let me start a Puzzle Rush. And now I'm playing in survival mode. Hopefully this goes away. Okay. And survival mode, there's no time constraint, so that's why I use this one. So now I'm gonna enable my app here. As I click on it, you'll see that a window has popped up here. And this is really a text box. I can type in my moves here if I wanted to, but the idea is to speak your moves, and your speech recognition software will enter your moves in this text box. And the browser extension that I've written is listening to the moves that are entered here and it'll parse those moves and make those moves for me on the chessboard. And all of this happens so fast that sometimes you may not even see the move being shown here, because it just picks it up and it refreshes and it's gone before the human eye can process it. But since this is my live demo, let's get on with this, and let's open up my speech recognition software, which is Windows Speech Recognition. I searched a lot of speech recognition software, but I thought, why not use this one, because it's available for free on Windows, and I don't need to pay for it. I don't need to do anything special to get it set up and running. It has a very convenient speech dictionary, which I can show you. And what I've done here is I can show you the existing words that you see all of these words that I've entered. These are custom words that I've put in the dictionary, so it knows, because there's no dictionary that I know of that knows how to understand chess moves. Like if you say queen to f3, there is no available dictionary that I know of that understands what that means. So I had to create my own dictionary here, like bishop takes, c takes d5, castle kingside, castle queenside. All of these words in the chess vocabulary I had to enter in this dictionary. And I also had to if I go here, I also had to there's a way you can there's a way you can prevent a word from being dictated. So a lot of times, for example, when I say bishop takes, sometimes it misunderstands what I'm saying and it thinks it is bishop cakes. So I had to enter I don't know if I entered it, but just in case I haven't, I'm going to say don't process the word cakes. Don't try to interpret the word cakes. I say finish. So I say, okay, that's good. So there's a lot of such words which I still have to enter in to make this speech recognition more accurate. But thus far, it's been doing a good job. So without further delay, let's get started. And I'm fingers crossed, I hope this works in my live demo. If it doesn't, then I'll just open up my console logs and everything and start troubleshooting. But so I turned this on, speech recognition. Rook e8. And there you go, it made the move. And I gotta be careful when I'm speaking to you, because this here is listening. So the application might get confused by what the plain language that I'm speaking, because these are not chess moves that are coming out of my mouth. So if I show you if I go here and I say, where's inspect? If I go to inspect and I print out the console log, you'll see that it has detected the puzzle rush page, and it's opened up my background scripts and so on, and it finds the moves that I and this actually is part of my speech recognition. That's not the move, but that's what happens when you deal with speech recognition. So anyway, and this thing gets confused a lot, so you got to be careful with it. I often have to restart this, but that's a limitation of the speech recognition software, not my program, so I can't blame myself, thankfully. But okay. Rook f8. Rook a1. Rook b1. Rook c1. Rook h1. So I need to mention that when I say the moves, like for example, now I'm going to play queen takes f2. I can say queen takes f2, or I can say simply queen f2, because that's effectively the move. So for simplicity's sake, I often avoid saying takes, but if you wanted to say takes, you could say takes, like I'm going to try now. Queen takes f2, queen f1. Now, so what you saw there was a bug in speech recognition. So I said queen f1, but somehow I guess my speech wasn't clear enough, or the software was confused a little bit. The Windows speech recognition software was confused to the extent that it thought I said 4, but I did say 1, and I think you heard 1. So anyway, Rook A1, Rook E1, Knight F5 check. Now, I didn't have to say Knight F5 check. I mean, that's just a natural way of saying the move. When I said Knight F5, it already understood what I wanted to do, but it's just a human way of speaking. What I'm trying to show here is that it can allow that human way of speaking and not be affected by it, as long as it detects the speech correctly, which is the job of the speech detection software. But as long as it gets the input correctly, it can handle human language and the way we speak naturally. Instead of saying, for example, G3 F5, that's another way of saying the move. Like, I'm going to try F5 to H4 instead of Knight takes H4, and that's a very primitive way of saying things, but that should also work. F5 H4, F5 H4. Okay, I need to see my console logs now, so see what's up here. Okay, so it's having difficulties understanding my speech. So okay, let's try this again. F5 H4, Knight H4. Okay, I don't know what was that, but it was a problem. Okay, what is this? Queen takes, whoops. Queen takes F5. Queen takes F7. Rook takes D6. C8 queen. So I didn't quite get promotions working just yet. I mean, I tried a lot. I was trying C8 queen, C8 knight, and these kind of things. I was trying to get this click to work, but I just couldn't manage it within the time constraints that I had. So it promotes the pawn, but it cannot select the piece just yet. But if chess.com develops this, it's very easy for them to do this. Knight G6, E3, E8, E3, E8, E8, and there you go. So you can also say moves based on the square, but that's not natural. But what I'm trying to show you is that that's also possible. That's actually the first way that I tested this and ensured that it can at least detect the square and make the move before it begins to process natural language. E1, E8. Queen takes E5. Queen takes D4. Knight takes C3. E5 check. Knight E6 check. Knight takes D8. Rook takes B3. Rook takes D3. Bishop takes B7. King takes E6. Gejimayu says good speed for now, but not for Anthony in general. Some of the guys in this chat are from our Pro Puzzle Battle team group. It's a club on chess.com, and we all play puzzle battles. And Anthony is one of the guys who is all about speed, and he doesn't care if he loses the battle as long as he gets his speed in. He's very happy. So That's the context of the comment there. Keiji Mayu says it's good speed now, but not for Anthony in general. So anyway, bishop b4 check. Queen takes b2. e3 check. e2. Queen takes g1. Queen takes d8. Rook takes c3. Rook takes c3. Okay, so now that I've showed you the different ways in which you can say the moves, I'm just going to simplify the way I say the moves, and I'm just going to not say takes, but I'm just going to say knight c2 or queen f2 or whatever it is. So let's do it. Knight c2, queen f2, bishop g4. Wait, was I wrong on that one? What did I miss? Maybe I missed something. I'm too caught up with the demo, but I think Keiji Mayu can tell me later what I missed. Queen g5, bishop g2. Yes, I think this is one of the bugs that I've encountered, not with my software because I'm making the right moves, but I think maybe it's not a bug, maybe it's a detection mechanism in chess.com where if the move is made too fast, then it thinks it's a robot, which it is in this case, but chess.com I think makes the assumption that it is a cheating program, so it fails your puzzle. And I think if I go here and I try this out, I'm pretty sure bishop g2 is the right move, and it is. But you saw that it failed me when I played bishop g2, and that's not a bug with my software. It's probably a cheating detection mechanism in chess.com, which prevents cheaters from using computer programs to make moves as fast as they can. I had tried to add a delay between the moves to maybe avoid getting into this problem, but when I added the delay, the whole software was slowing down quite a bit. So I'm like, no way am I going to add a delay. It's just a demo, so I'm going to show it along with the bugs that I find in it. Now this is not my bug. This is a behavior of chess.com. So that was correct. And if I check the previous one where I played bishop g4, let me just make sure that that's also the case, and it is. So I was right. So it's probably the fact that when this move bishop g4 is played, there are two mouse clicks. There's a mouse click on d7. Well, there's a click here, and then there's a click here. And the time between those two clicks is so negligible that it's almost impossible for a human being to do that. So I think chess.com is probably checking that and disqualifying the move for that reason. That's my assumption, that's my theory, but it doesn't do it all the time. So I'm not sure if that's actually what's happening, or there's a different, perhaps a race condition that happens with these kind of UI threads and event handlers and stuff like that. So that's my assumption. Anyway, so I showed you Puzzle Rush, and I can go on with this, but now I would like to. And Anthony says maybe it's only bishop moves. That's a good observation, but I've seen it. I've seen it with other pieces also. So that's not only bishop moves. So I've shown you Puzzle Rush. I want to show you live chess, and thankfully I haven't seen it thus far in live chess, but I could be wrong. Maybe they only have that cheat detection or whatever it is enabled for Puzzle Rush, and rightly so. Okay, so I'm just going to play a computer program, so it's easier to demonstrate. Let's say 15 by 10 is okay. Random color. So one of the challenges here is that first of all, I don't have the coordinates enabled. So if I play, right, now I'm playing black. How does my program know that I'm playing black? I have to write some detection code to see what side I'm facing. So let me first of all make a move before this game auto aborts. E5. So I have to write some detection code to see which side is the board facing. And from that I know, oh, okay, I'm playing black. And especially when you're playing Puzzle Rush, it's always flipping. So sometimes you're playing white, sometimes you're playing black. The other thing is, most of the chess recognition softwares that I've seen, they always start from the initial position. Whereas with Puzzle Rush, that's not the case. And you have to detect the existing position of the board and the position of the pieces. And then you also have to figure out, okay, which side is moving in what direction. So that was a slight challenge that I faced during this development, but it was not an impossible one. So that was good. So this is live chess. So I'm just gonna go for this short game here with this bot, which is not really highly rated. So hopefully this is a quick game. But I want to demonstrate to you castling and stuff like that. So D5, Knight F6, Bishop C5, castles, Rook, whoop, Bishop takes A3, Bishop D6, C5, Knight C6, Knight C6, Rook E8. Sometimes I've seen that it gets confused between C6 and E6, especially when you say it really fast. So it probably thought I said Knight E6, and then it couldn't make that move, so it just didn't. D4, D takes E3, E takes D2, E4, E3, Knight H5, Knight takes G3, Knight H1, Knight G3, Knight E2, Queen H4, Queen G3, E2, and that's checkmate. And now, when I say rematch, it will flip the board. So it's again, it's got to detect that it's a new board, and then that the position has changed. So let's try that. E4, D4, F4, Bishop D3, Knight D2. So one of the things I haven't yet coded into this is, now there's two knights that can go to F3. So in algebraic notation, you would say Knight G to F3. So I haven't yet programmed that yet. So for now, I have to say Knight, or I have to say G1 to F3. G1, F3, Queen E2, castles, C3, Knight C4, E5, H3, H takes G4, A4, Knight E3, G5, King F2, Rook H1, Bishop D2, Rook H3, Rook, again, I gotta say A1, H1, king e1, g3, queen h2, queen h2, rook h7, rook h8. So as you can see, this is working. Any questions thus far? Any questions from our live chat? And I promise you, I'm going to show you something really interesting after this, but for that I'm going to have to play a game with Anthony, who I've informed. Yes, and he's asking me, what does that do? Okay, yes, I'm gonna show him. So let me challenge Anthony, who is really curious to see. And Anthony already challenged me. He can't wait. So Anthony is all set and ready to go d4. And Anthony, by the way, this is a friendly game, so we're just gonna trade our pieces and make a draw as we agreed. Knight, whoops. Knight f6, e6, c5, d5, Now, Anthony, I hope you're ready for this, but check this out. Vanish d2. You see what happened there? Vanish f2. Oops, I need to turn my speech recognition on. Vanish f2. Vanish c2. Vanish f4. Vanish e3. Vanish e1. There you go, Anthony, you lost. Already you lost because your king's gone. Everything's over. And it's game over, Anthony, already. But this is one of the fun things I was able to do while I was working on this. And now, of course, Anthony's screen is not showing all these things. These are only showing on my screen because I've got this extension installed. But the idea is that if this extension were installed on Anthony's in Anthony's browser, then when I say vanish, it would actually vanish it on his screen and not mine. So it is really a different type of fun chess where you can make moves, and if your opponent's not moving, you can start changing things on the board to confuse him. So now if I make a move, it's gonna all of the pieces are gonna reappear. So it's only before your opponent makes the move that you can vanish their pieces. So, and there you go, the pieces are all back, right? So okay, let's continue the game. Phantom e4. Phantom c2. Phantom g1. So now I can mess up the position by making random phantoms appear on the squares that I want them to appear on, and these are completely random. But if I want a specific phantom to appear, then I have to specify the name of that phantom. So I'm going to say phantom black queen e2, and there you go, there is a black queen on e2. So imagine you're playing an endgame and it's you're both down on the clock and your opponent's chasing your king, and now you begin to create phantoms all over the board, and he has to keep track of where are the actual pieces and which ones aren't real. So that's a fun chess. I call it phantom chess. Um, that I invented as I was working on this fun project. So that's the idea with phantom chess. And with phantom chess, you can also vanish pieces. So I'm going to say vanish G2, vanish G2, vanish D1. So there you go, you lost your queen. Vanish A1, vanish A1. I can also make my own king vanish, vanish E8, vanish E8. But I haven't lost the game. And if I just make one move like bishop E7, it's all back to the existing position. And just to prove to you that this is not some trick that I'm doing just on my computer, and that's actually possible that you can in fact do it on the other person's screen. I'm gonna tell Anthony to type something in the chat and see if that creates the phantom effect on my computer. Now I haven't, so this interface here is different from the one I've created here. So this is not the speech recognition interface that I've built. So over here the format is not yet the same that I've built for this one. So I'm gonna give a very specific format to Anthony in the chat here. So you have to say phantom, and then you have to specify the piece. And Anthony said phantom black rook on G4, and it didn't work. So that's something I have to troubleshoot as to why that's the case. So try something else. Let's see if vanish works. Try vanish F6. Okay, that's maybe something changed in when I was making some changes, but I can assure you that was working. And if you give me time, a little bit of time later after this demo, I could quickly make the change and get that working just to prove it to you. But the other thing you could do is you can make my move for me. So if your opponent's not fast enough to make his move, you can actually make your opponent's move. So Anthony, try this and see if that works. Move. And it did it. So Anthony said move B7, B5 in the chat. He said it in the chat box, but it actually made that move for me. So the idea, so you've heard of guess the move, but this is mess the move chess. So that's the idea that I'm proposing. So, and I'm typing everything in this chat here. I need to. So in mess the move chess, so the idea would be that you would not be typing, you would be speaking into your microphone. And just as with phantom chess or vanish chess. So if your opponent's taking too long to move, you could actually move his piece by saying move B7 to B5. And look, Anthony did it again. Like he moved knight to E5 and then he played E8 to F8. So he moved my king because I'm giving this demo and Anthony is busy destroying me and he checkmated me already. So that's not fair, Anthony. That's not a good thing to do to the guy who is doing the presentation. But Anthony is having some fun. So rematch. But that's what I call mess the move chess. And when chess.com, I hope they do develop this kind of speech interface. All these different kinds of chess variants become possible. Like you could have phantom chess, you could have mess the move chess, and I don't know what other types of chess, fun chess you could have with this interface. So phantom black king f5. Phantom black king f5. There you go. Vanish e8. Vanish e8. So now if someone's looking at this position, they'll think that there is actually a king on f5 and there is no king on e8. So this is like, how did you get to this position? And the other funny thing is, if you wanted to, you could have the audience join in the chat, and the audience could type in whatever move they wanted, and it would make that move on the board. So how funny is that, or how cool is that? So you could actually have team chess. You could have audience creating random phantoms over the board. So yeah, that's the idea with phantom chess and mess the move chess. But anyway, I think that I've made the point that you can develop a speech interface for chess, and it can also lead to a lot of entertaining possibilities. So aside from the fact that it will help those who really need a speech interface, because hey, you know, if there is no other way you can access chess.com, then it'll be really nice for you to have a speech interface to do it. When I built this, it was more out of fun and not so much thinking about, okay, what are the potential applications of this. I was just in a mood to have some fun and have some development done to see how far I could get with this, and particularly since I'm not actually a JavaScript developer, I'm primarily a Java developer, and the only similarity between Java and JavaScript, for those of you who don't know, is in the name. That's pretty much it, and pretty much they are completely different languages. So I wanted to be more hands-on with JavaScript, so I thought, you know, this is a good idea, and yeah, I'm extremely pleased with the result. And I don't plan on giving this extension out in the public, because I think it could be misused, because a lot of the code in this extension is really using a lot of the browser code or the front end code that chess.com has written. So if I have to release this code, I would do it only to chess.com if they want it for reference. I don't think they need a reference. Their developers are probably a lot more proficient with JavaScript than I am, but I'm just showing this as a proof of concept of what can be done, and I'm sure that chess.com can accommodate this in the near future. So having said that, any other questions? I'm actually a little bit disappointed that Anthony couldn't put a phantom from the chat box. I think I gotta check my code and see what I missed in my latest check-ins. But if you have any questions, I'd be interested to answer them. If you have any questions for me, I see that there's some private message, so let me see if that's a question for me. Anthony seems to have loved the variant, and I haven't showed you Puzzle Battle, but you could use this in Puzzle Battle, although you would probably lose very badly in Puzzle Battle with this in its current state. But for the sake of completion, let me show you that it's actually what's happening here. Oh, Puzzle Battle. Okay, leave this page. Battled. I'm gonna challenge Anthony and see if he is online. Anthony, can you come online? Or maybe if Gejimayu is online. I don't want to lose all my rating, because if you see here, Gejimayu and myself are 1 and 2 for the season, and rating wise, I'm on 2781. I actually lost a lot of rating points while I was testing this, because I had to test it in Puzzle Battle. and against opponents who probably had a lot of low ratings. Anthony says, okay, I'll give it back. So okay, let's challenge Anthony, and for the sake of completeness, do one puzzle battle. No, the thing I was afraid of with battle is that chess.com might have stricter rules and they might ban me thinking that I'm using a bot. I did email them saying, hey, I'm working on this project, I hope it's all right. They didn't get back to me yet, but I think by after this demo they probably will. But let's see. Queen c1, queen e1, rook h8, rook h7, rook h6, rook e1, rook a8, rook e8, rook f8, queen h7, queen g7, rook h7, rook e7, queen h7, g4, g3, g2, g1, queen. Queen takes b6, bishop b5, bishop takes c6, bishop c6, bishop h2, queen d5, queen takes d1, rook d1, rook takes d1, rook takes f7, rook d8, rook d8, rook d8, rook f8, knight f4, queen takes b2, knight f6, knight h5, queen a1, rook a2, queen a2, a takes b4, queen e8, rook f8. And yeah, this is one of the things that happens with chess.com when I do puzzle battles. Sometimes it'll just freeze on the move. I made that move, and I think it's probably a race condition of sorts where the move happened so fast that perhaps even chess.com was not able to process it. I mean, that's just a theory of what happened there, but that's something for them to look at. Geijimayu asks what are your personal bests with your interface. I actually haven't tried because I was treading carefully here because, you know, even though I've informed chess.com that I'm doing this, their algorithms don't know me. So if their algorithm has some sort of cheating detection, and if the algorithm thinks that I've been cheating continuously, then it might ban me. So I was trying not to do a lot of puzzle battle or puzzle rush. I was just doing survival in order to survive. And live chess, initially I played a lot of human beings, and I realized, oh my gosh, there's bots that I can play. So I began playing bots, so that way I could test a lot more. Well, yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you stick around, well, I'm gonna try to enable that phantom interface for Anthony and see if that works. And I'm sweating like hell here because in order to get this microphone to work, I switched off my fan. I don't have an AC in this room, so it's getting pretty warm in here. But anyway, okay, let's see if I can. Whoops! I'm not going to show you my source code. Well, I did show it to you for just a second there. Phantom, where is the phantom? In the meantime, if you have questions for me, please type them in the chat so I can try to answer them. Well, I can, as I'm working on this, I can tell you some of the difficult. I already shared with you some difficulties that I faced. One of which was to train the voice recognition software. This one here, Windows speech recognition, to be able to recognize my voice. I also had to make sure that it doesn't record some words, so that it's only understanding chess notation. So I'm kind of reducing the value of the speech recognition software for recognizing anything else. I'm only making it into a chess speech recognition software. So that was a huge challenge. The other challenge was just trying to figure out how chess.com does things, because to be fair, this is not an API that chess.com provides to you that you can just use and start manipulating things on the chessboard. I had to figure out how things happen and dynamically change them on the fly. And they're only changing on my computer. It's not changing on the chess.com servers. I'm not hacking them. It's not changing on Anthony's machine. But the idea is that if this were an interface that chess.com provided, then it could potentially lead to changes on both machines that chess.com supports. And right now, as I said, I was in a hurry to get this out and released, because I know that chess.com is in the process of releasing a new chessboard. So if that happens, then all of these changes are useless. Maybe not all of them, but some of them are useless. I would have to rewrite. So Anthony really likes the mess my move chess. Yeah, that would be a pretty interesting variant to watch. Mess my move along with Phantom Chess. That would be some chess to watch for fun, at least for kids. I think that would be a nice way to get kids involved in the game. And okay, for the sake of my own intellectual curiosity, I'm just going to take 2 minutes, and if I can figure this thing out in 2 minutes, then I'm going to give it a shot. But if not, I will bring this video to a conclusion. So let's see if I can figure out why the Phantom wasn't working for Anthony. Command listener, where is this? Where is my chat listener? There it is. Oh, this is why. Okay. Okay, so time to reload my extension. I made the change, and I'm gonna go to live chess with Anthony. I think our game's still on, probably. Maybe, I don't know. Game was aborted, but Anthony, let's have a new game. I'm gonna rematch Anthony if he's active. Anthony, you there? So I'm just going to make some moves, and Anthony, I want you to try the Phantom notation again, okay? So let me bring this up here, and Anthony, you can try the Phantom. No. You have to say Phantom and then the piece, like White King, WK, or Black Rook, BR, and then the square. No, that's not correct. Yes, it did it. It did it. So I fixed my bug. I'm really happy I fixed my bug live. So you know I'm not lying to you. And now you can try vanish in the same way. Vanish and then just a square. Okay, let me see my logs and see what's messed up with vanish. Not this one. But if I got phantom working, I'll probably get vanish working easily. I hope so. And where is this index of phantom? Yes, okay. Did say vanish, okay. The phantom, so phantom worked, we know that. And it's in the else condition here. If that, else here, it's going to be substring this. Okay, I'm gonna okay, reload. Okay, Anthony, try that again. No, only one vanish per line. Okay, so it's not picking it up for some reason. Let's make sure the phantom works. That's odd. Why isn't that working? Something changed. That's really odd. Oh, I haven't even enabled this thing here. Okay, let's try that again. And yeah, now it worked. Now the phantom worked. Okay, so let's try vanish. And what does my log say? Update board, vanish, no piece and vanishing. Okay. Okay. There is a typo in here. Okay. Vanishing square substring space. So it said, I see. I think it's probably 7 in that case. Okay. Reload. Refresh. And let's do this again, Anthony. Yes, it's doing it now. So Anthony, try vanish and phantom at the same time. So we're gonna play a game just to finish this. We're gonna play a game, and Anthony's gonna try to vanish things as I'm playing, and also Anthony's gonna try to make my moves for me. So that's gonna be interesting. And note, Anthony, you can also pre-move by saying move, okay? So if you say move D2 to D4, that can also count as a pre-move, okay? So, oh dear, he's got it. He's got it. He's controlling me, and I can control his screen because he he doesn't have the application installed on his computer, whereas this is, oh, he's going for the kill, and he already killed me. But I will get back to you on that, Anthony, when I install this application on your computer. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna. But this was fun, and thank you, Anthony, for participating in this and making this fun. I hope you enjoyed this, and I honestly hope that chess.com builds this for us. It'll be fun to have, first of all, it'll be nice to have a speech interface. And then for kids, it'll be fun to have a Mess My Move and Phantom Chess built for them. So that'll be great. So looking forward to that in the future. Thanks for watching.